Right now, joining me in studio is the lady of the moment, Kgothatso. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Right, so hard work pays off, and it pays off in buckets. Tell us more about how you're feeling to finally have some sort of freedom in your sporting career.
Obviously, I should just give credit to Optimize Agency for coming through for me when I shared my story about lack of sponsorship. Because I think if it wasn't for them coming through, we wouldn't be sitting here and talking sponsorship. But other than that, credit should also go to Wheelchair Tennis South Africa for pushing me throughout the years together with Airport Company South Africa, together with SASCOC. Because today, sitting here, we're talking a different language today. I'm going into US Open with a coach this time, so you can imagine what Optimize did for me. It really means a lot, and it's just an exciting news for me.
Because up until this point, it was you against the world, so to speak. How lonely is that for a professional athlete to really be on your own going into all these tournaments?
Yeah, in a normal world, it does get lonely. But as a professional athlete, you need to work around your situation. When you understand your situation better, you need to find solutions on how to make it work. Of which, in my case, I really understood my situation really well, what I was going through. And for me to dwell on that, it wasn't going to help me as a player either way. So I had to find a solution on how am I going to tackle this one and make it work for myself. That's why it turned out to be, to work out really well, because I had to, make efforts to make sure that when I get out there and I'm on my own, I need to make sure that I practice. I have someone there for me. And it all worked out, so it was all about finding the solution and understanding my situation, yeah.
Character building of note, but it started from an early age. You had to hitchhike from Limpopo to Pretoria to win your first tournament. Those are the kind of things that really make you a strong person.
Yeah, talking on that one, I should say credit goes to my former teacher, Matukan Makhato, because I think she saw the potential in me, because as a kid back then, I didn't want to play tennis because I didn't understand the sport. But surely she saw something in me, hence she took all those efforts to, to transport me like that, to make sure that I play my first tournament after studying to play tennis. So it was one hard journey whereby I started in a school where there were no facilities and all that. So for me, looking back then, I don't think I would have, chose tennis as something, I would do for the future or do it as a career. But, big up to her for seeing a potential in me, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be talking Kgothatso Montjane as a tennis champion, yeah.
But it must have been surreal at Wimbledon, reaching those heights and no one to share it with. How did you feel when you were achieving so much? It was almost like you had to get home in order to just share your experience.
To be honest, like I said, for me, I actually understood my situation. So for me, winning out there, it was quite a moment for me, because I remember it couldn't actually even sink in, and the following day I was playing a big match. But I felt like I owed it to myself more than anyone else. So after making all those efforts of being on my own out there, I just felt like I need to go out there and do it for me. Apart from the social media passing and all that, actually I just did it for me. But being able to see that I've made a lot of people in the country proud, I can only take pride from that, because always when I'm out there, I try to represent my country with pride.
Absolutely. So now we go on to the US Open. And you've got your coach with you. Tell us how big a deal that is to have somebody who's monitoring and watching you in these important matches.
It is a big deal, because having my coach by my side, he helps me with some of the stuff on how to adapt to the conditions. We work on tactics. He's the one who realizes how the ball bounces, and he gives me ideas, and he analyzes the climate. This is how the weather is. This is the type of a shot you need to play and all that. So having the coach there, it really helps a lot, because he can advise me on stuff like that, how to restring my racket and stuff like that. Because when I'm on my own, I'm not a grassroots crafted player. I
Yes.
don't really know much about the sport, so you can imagine how much I value having a coach by my side, because he helps me with small things like that.
Absolutely. But you weren't completely on your own. I mean, tennis in South Africa is growing, and there's more of a South African presence. Kevin Anderson, Raven Klaasen, we saw pictures of you with them at Wimbledon. Is there a sort of a community when you meet them, knowing that you're all South African and you're all playing the same sport?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would just go back to Wimbledon moment where I felt like South Africa really owned that stage, you know. I think that's when the country itself realized how much tennis it has improved in this country. A moment like that, it's just a moment that's so rare in a sport, apart from soccer, because soccer is famous. But seeing tennis at that stage, I think it's a big deal. From wheelchair tennis side, from tennis South Africa side, I mean, it's a moment whereby we're all proud that this is what South Africa can give to the world, and they delivered. I believe as tennis players out there, we never felt that proud that South Africa is owning the stage, and we don't get to see each other a lot. We bump into each other.
So it was a special moment.
Yeah, it was a special moment because Raven had to come and watch me play, and he had to come and look for me. I bumped into Kevin, so it's a rare moment where we get to sit down and just chat about everything. But when we get a chance, you know, we just,
Well, we want you back. I mean, we're out of time, but we want you back after the US Open to tell us more. And we wish you all the best of luck. Kgothatso Montjane, thanks so much for stopping by again. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant.